Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. On this channel, I love to sew and do home decor on a budget. Today I'm going to be painting this picture. It was so relaxing. Now let's get crafty. I'm going to show you my inspiration right here, and I got this off of Pinterest, and mine does not look like that, but you know, it was fun to work with, to say the least. So I got these pumpkins from Walmart. They were $4.98 a pack. It's a garland. And then I got this sign from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take the hanger off, and I'm going to rip the paper off. This one came off pretty easy. Some do, some don't. I got blessed with this one, and it did. I'm not going to be painting on this side because it's fuzzy. So I'm going to be using this side. I want it to look like wood, so I'm going to take this light tan paint, and I'm going to get a chippy brush, and I'm just going to start painting this on there. And it don't have to be real heavy, just putting it on here. But I did notice that this Dollar Tree board was dry, and it was taking quite a bit of paint. So you'll see me in a minute just pouring it on. Seemed to work better that way, but I'm just going to do this to cover my board with this first coat. Now I'm just going to use that gray, and it's just a light gray by Apple Barrel. And I got a new brush, and I'm just going to dry brush it lightly over the tan color. And some spots I'm going to get darker just till it satisfies me. Here I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to get a pencil, and I'm going to draw lines down my board. This kind of makes it look like shiplap, but the picture itself was on pallet wood. So I just wanted this to look like maybe separated boards. But anyways, I'm going to draw them on, and then I'm going to rub it with my hand, kind of blending it in. The picture is in front of me, so that's what I'm going by. And the reason I'm doing this, y'all may find it interesting, you may not. But I have to teach a class at the church painting this picture. The ladies wanted to paint it, so I am doing a little practice run with a mini one right here. I love those wood grain pumpkins. They are the prettiest. But anyway, that's beside the fact. So I took the string out. It was a garland. I got it at Walmart for $4.98. I don't know if I said that or not. I can't remember. But I'm just going to draw the shape of this pumpkin, because Lord knows I couldn't probably draw a pumpkin out, So I'm just doing it this way. I couldn't get my humps and bumps out right if I wanted to. So this is the reason why I am drawing it. And it wasn't the exact shape. I just needed something to go by. The picture behind me had humps behind it, and then a stem coming down. I could have painted that pumpkin and glued it on there. It would have been cute too, but I had to practice painting. That board at the top is going to be a little welcome sign. I did want it kind of 3D up there. I didn't want to write welcome on the board per se, or just give me a space where I needed to put the welcome. Either way. But now I'm just sketching what I see on the paper in front of me. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to take this, pretty sure this one is jack-o'-lantern. It looked more of the color that I was going for than the pumpkin. And I got these paint brushes. This is what the ladies are going to be using. These are pretty decent brushes. They're Hello Hobby from Walmart. And this round tip one, man, this thing just goes around this pumpkin like you wouldn't believe. All I do is just glide that brush around, and I'm going the shape of the pumpkin. Okay, so there I'm covering over the stem, because brown will cover over orange easy. But I'm just going to keep making my strokes in the way that my pumpkin shape is going to go. Okay, so that's all I'm doing right here. As you can see, I went ahead and painted the whole bottom, and now I'm just taking my pencil. There are sunflowers on this. I don't know if you remember or not, but there was sunflowers on there, so I'm going to make my stems of my sunflowers, see? And then I am going to take the green, and it is a dark green, and I'm just going to use a little bit, and I'm going to paint my stems on. And this is a little skinny brush. I mean, it's not like fine or anything, but it's a skinnier brush, and I'm just going to put my stems on for my sunflowers. I will tell you that if you go too far up, you will be able to see the green when you paint the yellow. The green comes right through the yellow, and it's hard to cover up. I'm using acrylic paints because they blend easier. So now this is the fun part. This was the funnest part for me. I'm going to take a medium, it's not real small, not real big, angle brush, and I'm going to start flicking, okay? I'm just flicking yellow all over. This is not the width of the brush, but it's the length of the brush, if that makes sense. I'm not sure, but it's on the edge. I'm not using the flat. I'm using the edge at an angle, and I'm just flicking to get these petals on there. And this was so fun. You don't have to be perfect. The picture wasn't, like I said, but you see how you see the green under there? I think I did this 2, maybe 3 coats of these little yellow flicks on here. And I still don't, you can still see the green just a little. Not real bad, but a little. But anyways, that's what I'm doing now, is I'm putting my yellow on there. Then I am going to take the same yellow, and I'm going to put the highlights in my pumpkin and make the dimensions. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to go the shape of the pumpkin. That's the way I'm going, and I'm going to take my hand, and I'm just going to smooth that paint down if it gets too harsh. And the good thing about this, if you get too much yellow, you can always take the orange right there and just put more orange into it, like that right there, and tone that yellow down some. But if you want it bright yellow, just by all means, don't do the orange, just do yellow. But this just defines the pumpkin, shapes the pumpkin, and, just makes it look pretty, more realistic like. And anyway, I'm babbling. Then after I do this, I'm going to get a brush, and I'm going to get burnt umber, and I am going to put my stem on, and then the little lines that go down from it, and I'll just let you watch me do that. Now after I get that, pumpkin stem on, I'm just going to take the edge of this brush, and I am lightly putting the burnt umber around to shape out my pumpkin and outline the pumpkin. And I did the bottom, and I painted that corner just to make it look better. I cut that off because my head was in it, but there it is. You can see where I'm painting it in and making it look more like a pumpkin down there on the bottom as well. And I'm just going to shade this, and then I'm going to go down the edge. I got too much, got heavy-handed right there, so I'm just adding more green, and then I'll add the brown to it, and that is just going to make my stems and my stalks, or whatever you want to call it, to your sunflowers. You just mix colors, whatever suits your fancy right here. When you're painting, you just make it look however you want it to look. Now I'm going to lightly drag, and this is going to be the leaves that's on the picture. Just has two, okay? You can put as many leaves as you want to, and you'll see that at the end when I did the class. I got the picture down at the end of the video. But I'm just taking another small little angle brush and drawing these leaves on, and that's the shape that they were on the picture. And I think they came out pretty good. I mean, it made me happy, so yeah. So I just added another one right there, just because that made me happy too. So there it was. And then I'm going to take my burnt umber, and I'm going to go in and define my leaves just a little, and draw the middle in it and outline them and all that stuff. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding the lines and the middles to my sunflowers. And all I did to do the middle is just spin my brush around. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get up there. But it was just easy. And then your lines are just random lines throughout your see, that is so, I don't know. That was fun too. And you could put them anywhere to make any angle to your sunflower. Then, like I said, I'm just going to take, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm going to make my little petal marks. They didn't have very many, but I wanted more to make my sunflowers look more like sunflowers, so I'm adding more. Now the picture, I just highlighted until it made me happy, and that's the outcome. Now I'm just taking burnt umber and water, and I'm really watering down this burnt umber. I want it really, really light because I'm going to be writing on this with a furniture marker from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to paint it because I can't, I don't want to. I was going to use vinyl, but I felt like that was like cheating too much. So I'm just going to stain all of this, but I will not stain the bottom. That will help it hold when I glue it on. But it's a little dark, so I'm going to take a rag, and I'm just going to start rubbing and rubbing. And the more you rub, the more it lightens it up. So, yeah. Now I'm going to take the little light gray that I had earlier and a little brush and distress. You know me, I like to distress everything. So I'm just going to start distressing this and make it more lighter. I don't want it to match the wood that I already got on there. It does have to be a little darker than that, But either way, I just don't want it that stark color. Now I'm going to take some of that burnt umber, I didn't want the watered one, and just a little bit, and I'm going to dry brush around the edges. That way I know it won't blend in with the board itself. And I'm going to distress the board because you know I've got to distress everything. So I'm just going to take that same chippy brush from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to go around the edges and distress my sign. Okay, so I had the painting the way I want it distressed and all, and I'm taking my sanding block that's wore plumb out, and I'm going to sand this down. I'm going to be using a furniture marker from the Dollar Tree. You can use a regular marker. You can paint it on. You can use vinyl. You can use stencil, stickers, whatever you want. But it needed to be smooth and dust-free to put this on, and my handwriting stinks. But anyway, I made it work. It looks okay to me. So now all I have to do is take my wood glue, and I'm going to add some wood glue on here, and then I'm going to add some, well, was I going to add hot glue? Yeah, I'm going to add a hot glue on there, and then I'm going to position my sign and push it down. There you go. Easy peasy. Now I'm just going to take my string. I'm going to string it back the way it was, and I am done. And here is a final look of what it looks like. And I was excited about it. I mean, I really was. Here are a few of my church ladies that did the painting class with me. And they all did an excellent job. That one on the bottom was mine. And it was so much harder to do a big one than the smaller one. But we all had fun. And we're going to do something else again. I just don't know what yet, maybe for the winter. But anyways, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video, because you never know what I'm gonna do. Remember, you are a blessing. Until next time, goodbye.